Journalists, exhibitors, a very warm welcome to our preview of the GrindingHub 2024. We are delighted that so many of you have come here. From May 14th to 17th, GrindingHub will once again be inviting grinding experts from all over the world to the city of Stuttgart. Today, we would like to give you a preview of what the industry get-together for grinding technology has to offer this year. My name is Tobias Beckmann, and I am the BDW's Press and Public Relations Officer and your first point of contact for all communication issues relating to the GrindingHub. First of all, I would like to give you an overview over the program and the agenda and the discussion partners. Martin Göbel is the head of trade fairs at the VDW, and he will make the start. He'll present the economic situation in the grinding technology sector, as well as new figures on the trade fair and the concept behind GrindingHub. And afterwards, we are delighted to welcome Peter Breuer, the group leader, grinding technology at the Manufacturing Technology Institute, the MTI, at the Aachen University. He's a guest speaker. In a keynote speech, he will present the latest developments in the field of digital assistant systems in grinding technology from a research point of view. Today, however, the focus is clearly on you, the exhibitors, and their trade fair highlights. In the form of 3-minute elevator pitches, 15 exhibitors will give you an exclusive insight into their preparations for the trade fair. And afterwards, you will have the opportunity to network. In short breakout sessions, you can exchange ideas with company representatives during a speed dating system. Also, Martin Göbel and Peter Breuer will be happy to answer all your questions. After the event, you'll be provided with all the contacts of all the participants. A small technical reminder. During the first part of the event, we would like you to turn off your microphones and mute your microphones to ensure that everything runs smoothly. If you have any questions about controlling Zoom, you can ask my colleague Martin Bogun from Industry Arena, GrindingHub support, and you can chat him or DM him. This event will also be interpreted simultaneously into English and German. You can select the language that you would like to listen to via the globe and the interpretation control in Zoom. I will now hand over to Martin Göbel. Thank you very much, Mr. Beckmann, for your introduction. A very warm welcome from my side as well. I would like to welcome you. My name is Martin Göbel. I'm the head of fair trades at the VDW. Many of you have already informed yourself about the status of the preparations. That's why I would like to give you a brief overview and the newest numbers and trending themes for grinding technology. So first of all, let's take a look at the numbers of grinding technology in the sectors internationally, comparing globally with German. Tool machining in 2022 was 80.4 billion euro. That's an increase of 12% compared to the previous year. 5.5 million euros. Grinding technology made up 7%. Grinding is the end of every process chain because precise surfaces and precision are essential for function, quality, and the longevity of a product. The major producers are China, Germany, and Japan. China, the United States, and Germany are the largest markets for grinding, cutting, lapping, and honing machines. In 2022, we had 9,500 visitors, 40% abroad, and 60 nations. The Europeans were represented very well, and there were guests from overseas that we're still missing. In particular, visitors from Asia, but they were still under pandemic restrictions and visa issues. However, this year, we assume that this might improve materially. So Germany is a manufacturer and market for grinding technologies. And therefore, GrindingHub has become an international meeting point of the sector in Stuttgart. More than half of our exhibitors come from 30 countries in 2024. It's a very attractive market, and they will present their highlights. So let me look at the development in Germany. Projections for the German grinding technology production show that production goes hand in hand with the export. It increased by 15% to 1.1 billion euros compared to the previous years. The grinding, lapping, honing, and polishing machines look rather well compared to other sectors. The tooling industry had a nominal growth of 9%, mainly catch-up effects from the pandemic. The domestic market and the consumption of grinding technology in Germany has grown by 13% last year compared to the domestic demand for tooling machinery, which grew by 5%. Export and import in 2023 in grinding technology went smoothly and well. It grows to 15% export and import to 11%. The Chinese market were interesting because they ranked first, followed by the United States and Italy when it came to export. The biggest supplier is Switzerland, Czech Republic, and China for Germany. And for Germany, the lookout looks rather great compared to other industries. However, we expect a decrease in production for 2024 because even the supply chain problems have been solved. However, the order intake decreased by 20% as compared to 2022. So for the German export market is a great divergency with regard to the international market development. A growth factor and growth driver is Asia, and in particular India. 103% growth ranks number 3 of the trade partners of Germany and makes up for 5 ranks. The losers are Austria with a minus of 38% and a decrease from rank 4 to rank 9. For the import market, on the other hand, there are 2 markets that are rather important here, Switzerland and the Czech Republic. They rank first, 209 million euro. That makes up 2/3 of the entire volume. GrindingHub, of course, will be an important platform for new business and will help to overcome the economic uncertainties, tap into new markets and customers. Participation and visiting the GrindingHub is an excellent timing because the economic conditions can only be overcome when you're proactive. When you look at the numbers of GrindingHub 2024, we are especially delighted that we were able to represent grinding more than ever. More exhibitors, more internationality, more products, a greater products range. Compared to 2024, we see a clear growth. As of March the 19th, more than 487 exhibitors had registered. That's a plus of 111 more exhibitors compared to 2022. And daily, we have inquiries of exhibitors that want to present at the GrindingHub as well. Due to the number and the coverage, we were able to open up a 4th hall. So visitors can look at higher numbers, but internationality has grown as well. There are 31 countries that are representatives, 8 more countries than in the previous one. Most of the exhibitors are still come from Germany, 221, followed by Switzerland, 66, and China, 46, and Italy, 39, and Japan, 17 exhibitors. That's a clear increase from the Asian markets, and we really welcome that. After the end of the pandemic restrictions, we expect an increase of visitors from the region. So there are more more than 40 sectors of cutting, lapping, grinding, polishing, cooling, lubrication. For cutting and grinding, we have a growth of 120%. The top 5 sectors around grinding machinery and tooling and cutting, lapping machines, polishing machines, flat polishing, honing machines, everything. So GrindingHub has an excellent representation. It's a look and insight into the industry, and it combines producers and customers and potential clients. I'll give you an overview of 4 targets. So GrindingHub, first of all, has a clear focus on grinding technology, of course. So therefore, visitors can look for new developments and products and services in this area. The second benefit is the international orientation, because exhibitors and visitors come from all over the world. And therefore, you can exchange about global trends and best practices for grinding technologies. And you can establish international contacts. Thirdly, we have excellent technical credentials. The GrindingHub is a high-level trade fair, highly skilled, highly competent. So our guests can tap into the full potential of the industry. We are greatly organized as well. We have a strong team with decades of experience in trade fairs. So it's a very well-structured event, and it provides a professional environment for efficiency and targets. And last but not least, we want to be timely and modern. We have a mixed planning and an attractive distribution of exhibitors, digital offers, videos, streaming offers, and so on, which all create added value with additional interaction, information, and networking, even beyond the trade fair. From the very beginning, GrindingHub has established itself, and we want to be a trade fair for the industry, with the industry, of the industry. But where are the future trends? Where are the opportunities? Where are the challenges? There are 3 trends that we see that no one will be able to go around. Automation and digitization is the driver of technology development. And grinding is no exception. On the contrary, increased speed and better tolerances, more consistent quality, and potential cost savings are very important for manual companies as well. So this is a great way to tap into the potential of the perfect grind. However, you are also confronted with a lack of skilled labor triggered by the demographic change. It's hard to find skilled and experienced staff. Lots of them retire, and new technologies ask for new skills. So there's an imbalance between students and the industry's demand. And the third trend is tapping into new markets and finding new customers. So first of all, tapping into new sectors, going away from fossil fuels. So that's a transformation towards electromobility and requires ever higher precision for cutting and grinding technology. But geographically, we need to tap into new markets as well, especially when it comes to emerging markets in Asia. Therefore, one needs to identify new strategies and tap into new potential customers and business. So I'm very confident that the exhibitors have to offer interesting insights. The keynote will also speak about one aspect of digitization. So I look forward to discovering all this together with you, especially at the GrindingHub in May 14th to 17th, live in Stuttgart. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Göbel. Thank you for giving us an overview of the current trade fair preparations and the insight into the grinding technology. He will be followed by Peter Breuer, who will take a closer look at the trending topic of digitization in grinding technology from a scientific academic perspective.
Thanks for your kind words of introduction, Mr. Beckmann. I am going to share my presentation with you. And today I'm going to tell you more about the current research topic at our institute, and the topic is digital assistance systems in grinding technology. I would like to thank the VDW for the invitation, for inviting our institute, the Manufacturing Technology Institute, MTI, at the University of Aachen. This invitation was not only sent to me, but also Professor Thomas Bergs and Eike Reuter and Sebastian Prinz. I would like to mention them as well because they helped preparing my presentation. What am I going to tell you in the next few minutes? I would like to tell you more about a digital assistance in general. What does AI mean in grinding technology, and why do we need AI? What are the problems that we can solve with AI, and what is the progress that we can make in future with by using AI? That was the past. When we talked about assistance systems in the past, it was a master and a foreman, and they stood together at the machine and provided the young talents with a lot of advice. Experience and knowledge plays an important role, and the machines are doing it they are doing the realization, the monitoring, and the control of the production process. This has to be done manually in the past, based on experience and knowledge. And Mr. Göbel already mentioned the decrease in the number of qualified personnel in the students of mechanical engineering and apprentice and production jobs, and this affects the metal cutting mechanic and also number of new students in mechanical engineering. We saw a decrease of 20% in recent years. The so-called baby boomers are about to retire pretty soon, and the whole topic of an increasing shortage of qualified personnel is an omnipresent topic. So the question is, how can we support the stuff that is still working? We can, for example, use AI to do so. The grinding process of the future is an indirect process. So the human beings operate the machines with the help of an assistance system. What does that mean? The actual process design, the actual process planning and disposition monitoring and control of the production system to avoid idle times and to achieve a highly productive production with less rejects is supported by a sensor technology. Those are external sensors that monitor the whole process and make it possible to analyze it afterwards. So what are possible applications? Monitoring of macro and micro geometry of the workpiece, monitoring of macro and micro wear of the grinding wheel, monitoring of structural changes and boundary conditions. It could also be the monitoring of possible disturbances in the process and also fluctuations or variations in the process. And we are already using or analyzing this kind of technology to analyze the process, but we are doing pretty much the same as we've done in the past. Basically, there was a worker who collected data with his sensory organs. It was all about the perception, and they used their minds to process the data, to acquire the data, to process the data, and then they used it to operate the machine or to control the machine. what we are doing now is that we turn towards electronic data processing. So the acquisition is done via the sensors, the processing is done by machine intelligence, and the utilization is done via by an actuator, as you can see here with the robot arm. And this all goes into, has an influence on process monitoring and process control in general. So there could also be recommendations given by the machine to the worker, and this all helps the worker to be very efficient. And this makes the whole process very efficient. So I haven't talked about grinding technology a lot, but this is a process that we can use in pretty much every field. So we call it incubators. Those are incubators for digital transformation in the production processes. We use it for tool making, for turbo machinery, for sheet metal forming, and also for transmissions. This is what I mean with transmissions and right. This is about the production of gear shafts. So those are the use cases that we use to test the whole process. We form interdisciplinary development teams made up of engineers, data analysts, and IT specialists. And we try to transfer the knowledge or combine the knowledge that we've got in order to further develop the technologies. And we also try to take this into the industry. We want to make this technology usable and applicable for the industry of the future. In case of that gear shaft that I mentioned before, this incubator is called Incubator Technology Chain for Gear Shaft Production. Why does it say technology chain? Taking the gear shaft as an example for the operation, or this is a part of the drivetrain of an e-vehicle, and the different process steps are looked at in a combined way. So the toothing, and also after the hardening, the grinding of the functional surfaces, as well as the processing of the gears and tooths. So this is the whole technology chain from the raw material till the application, the end of life scenario. This is a continuous chain of production, and this chain can also be equipped with alternatives. On the left side you see soft turning and the gear hobbing. The case hardening is the only process that we outsource, so an external supplier, service provider. But we've had numerous tests where the waves were round all the way around, and then we also the gear hobbing, and we also try to replace the grinding process by hard turning processes. So there are various options. These chains can vary, and all those processes and allow us to collect data during the process, metadata that we describe in our test, process data that come out of the process, and quality data that we get from the results after the different process steps. And we also collect user data from the application, and this goes together with a life cycle assessment data that we gather during the along the production chain. We set up an architecture, an in-house architecture that enables us to collect the data and enables us not to have a look at the grinding process only and trying to improve this process, but we can also gather data on the influence of the turning process on the grinding process. And AI helps us to do so. So with the help of AI, we can do it even better. What do we do in the field of grinding? That is actually not much different than what we've done in the past 20 years in our research. It is a simple cylindrical grinding process with a conventional grinding wheel, as pretty much all the every manufacturer could use. But what is the trick behind all of that? With those different functional surfaces that we are grinding, we got different ways of working with them. We've got a functional area, we've got a shoulder and a bearing. And those are our geometrical parts that we have to finish. They are rough and finished. Those are the 6 process steps that are described on the slide. And one lot it consists of 18 work pieces, test work pieces. Out of those 16, so we assigned them to 8 different, to 3 different process groups. And we had one where we did the turning with a roughing tool only. And we left out the turning. Then we had the, and then we analyzed all the process, all the interconnection, how these processes are interconnected and how they influence each other. So you could do an conventional analysis of the process, and this is pretty simple to do. So you see the different test groups and you can do the measurements. You see the RZ value is relatively constant for group 1. For group 2, you see that there is a constant wear of the wheel, and this is increasing constantly. You see in some areas that there is a leap in wear, and you also see some outliers that are hard to explain from a physical perspective. So we've done 432 measurements, and you can analyze all those measurements of the whole process. You can also do this on a machine learned basis, and this is exactly the question we are dealing with. These phenomena that we are seeing here, for example, the wear of the wheels or those outliers, can we predict them based on the data that we collect during the process? If we are able to do so, we don't have to wait for the grinding of the entire lot until it's finished and see until we know the number of rejects. We see if something in the process is changing immediately, if the values are deviating, for example, or if the process does not develop the way we would expect it. So to do so, we need to collect data, and this is what we do in our test environment. Like you see on the slide here, in the grinding environment, we work with numerous sensors that we equip the machine with. For example, noise, body-borne noise sensors, and also monitoring coolant supply sensors, volume flow sensors. And we also got internal signals that we are using, for example, on torque or power or dressing characteristics, and on the spindles that are used in the machine. So data that is available in the industry, and it's not a big effort to collect these data. But we also know that not all the industries are working with these sensors. So we ask ourselves, what is the ideal model, and what is the ideal model based on the data that we got available? This is what we need to analyze, and this is what we need to do. For the data flows that you can see on the slide here, we need to define sampling rates. So for example, 1 megahertz or 5 megahertz, and for other sensors, because the values are not changing dynamically. Those are also questions that we had to deal with, because from this data acquisition or data collection, a certain processing need and computing need is derived from the data. So for example, here we've got a processing time of 30 seconds. Then this requires, generates half a gigabyte of data. So this is the setup of our test. If you run this process or this test in a 3-shift production, 24 hours around the clock, and you produce lot by lot of these gear shafts, then you will collect a lot of data, and you need a strategy how you handle them, how you work with the data. What kind of data do you have to store, for what time? How can you use them? How can you control the amount of data that you're working with? So basically, we collect the data in an environment like that. So this is the technology that we are using. National instruments for the recording or collection of the data. And then we use it to program our models. For the tests we are running, we also maintain a metadata base. This metadata base contains the process data, and it tells us where we send in our process with our tests. If we combine the metadata with the raw data that we store on the drive and that we will be able to analyze with cloud solutions in the future, but we need to store them somewhere. And we combine them in a model initiation. In this model initiation, you've got a machine learning model in the end that helps you to make a statement on the process in general. And the model is stored as well. Then we run a live analysis on the model together with the other data that we collected, the test data, so to speak. And this is used to feed the assistance system. So the live and metadata can be displayed that we are generating in the display. This is what we use to do so. We use the MQTT broker, but we can also use the data that have been analyzed in the model with just a minor delay. So if we do the grinding here, with a delay of 1 second, we can get information on the roughness of this gear shaft via the assistance system. So we can also extrapolate that in the future. And after the grinding of the shaft, we will have one with RZ 2.4, then RZ 2.5, then 2.6. And if I know my limits, I can define the ideal dressing time. This can be done for roughnesses, and it can also be done for grinding burn detection. So this is the information that the worker has on hand. He needs to know when to dress, what parameters to adjust in order to stay within the boundaries with your workpiece. How does it work? The data that we are collecting, how do we get them on the assistance systems? So what we are collecting are timelines or signals. That is just data over a certain period of time when it comes to roughing or finishing, for example. You've got a roughing or a finishing, and you can values, and you can determine the mean values for your spindle, or you can also get information on the variance. You can also translate this into the frequency area, and you can have a look at the timeline or at the different periods or different process steps. We do this with frequency bands by selecting frequency bands that are very relevant. What happens in a certain range of signals, for example. We call this a feature in our model. Don't mix it up with a geometrical feature that the shaft has. So this is a feature of the signal that I'm recording, of the period or timeline or transformed frequency range. So I take this feature I generate 10,000 of those features, and I'm not doing this manually. It is done automatically with an algorithm that we programmed before. With those 10,000 of features, you can't do a lot with them because this requires a lot of computing effort, but you can get a lot of information from those features for the analyzing value, for your variable that you want to analyze. And you can see that the same information is in some of the features. So this helps you to select the features, and this leaves you with a set of features that is much smaller, and that contains valuable information for your variable that you want to determine or that you want to learn more about. And if you now record data over the time, you can improve this model. You can train this model with the time. In the end, you got optimized model parameters that result in a model that you can use for different applications. You typically distinguish between classification and regression. Classification means that the model looks at different hyperparameters, and they are assigned to different clusters. So you've got one cluster here and one cluster there. And this can be very useful if you, for example, want to know that one cluster has a grinding burn and the other one doesn't. So this is important information that you need during the production. For roughness information, a regression model can be a good approach. And then you see the different applications. So this is what I introduced you to when I presented the assisted system. So for example, the monitoring of macro and micro geometry of the workpiece is possible. And this is done via predictions, not by measurements at the workpiece. How does it work? I brought you an example from a test series, and in blue, you see the maximum R set values, maximum height R set. And in yellow, you see the model evaluation. And you see that this matches pretty well. If you have defined the right algorithm, you've trained the right algorithm. How does that work? Let's have a look at it. What do I need to do to make this work? If you, for example, compare a model that is, for example, based on structure-borne noises, and then you see on the vertical axis, you see the coefficient of determination R2. So there is a 90% accuracy when it comes to the statements that you can make on whether those two models match or not. So the AA signal increases model accuracies only by 65%. So you can really combine the knowledge that we have to invest in order to optimize these models. You also get information on the number of model features. So to how many features can you reduce the features by the help of feature selection? So initially we had so many different features, and 1700 is a sweet spot because we've got a high level of accuracy, and at the same time the computing effort is not that much. So it is, on the other hand, also possible to have a look at the influence of the sampling rate. And at a sampling rate of 250 kilohertz, you've got an R2 value of, or you've got an accuracy of 90 or 92%. Beyond it doesn't get any better because you don't get more information. So you can reduce your sampling rate by your storage capacity by 75%. We talked about 1 megahertz before, and you can also reduce the data flow by 75% at the same time. So those are the steps that we have to take in research and development. This is what we have to bring to the industry. How can you reduce the storage capacity and the computing effort by making sure that the signals are evaluated in a useful way? What does it take to find the right compromise between effort and model accuracy in the end? That's the big question. And this brings me to the conclusion of my presentation. Assistance systems help us to use internal and external sources to support the workers and to fight the lack of skilled workers. Machine learning models can predict process results, and they have proven to be very useful. If you select the appropriate signal sources and reduce the computational cost and data storage requirements, they are a big support, and this works at the research level. But it doesn't work to 100%, and this is the last step that we have to take. It doesn't work. It works in the research environment, but not for industrial purposes yet. And this is what we have to do now. We have to translate it to the industrial application. For industrial purposes, you also need to make sure that you validate the algorithms over and over again. We expect that it will work out pretty well in the end, but the next step that we have to take as Manufacturing Technology Institute is that we want to use a factory as test environment. So we want to go to the industry together with you, together with the industry. We want to further develop the algorithms in a way that we leave our ivory tower of research environment, and that we really support you in the field and further develop the process and the system in the field. So thank you very much for your attention, and I am happy to take your questions afterwards. Thank you very much for your presentation. And if you want to learn more, you can learn more about that on the GrindingHub. Now let's continue with the elevator pitches. I'm going to share my screen again.
So this is an overview of all the exhibitors. So we also have a competition for Grinder of the Year, but we'll start with Adelbert Haas, Heiko Zimmermann, and Wolfgang Liebmann. You have the floor. A beautiful good morning from Austria. We have a very digital elevator pitch because we at Adelbert Haas are able to monitor our machinery remotely and get a status update of where they're at and whether our colleagues in Trossingen and our customers are productive. So a very warm welcome. I'm Heiko Zimmermann. I'm the sales head for Europe for Adelbert Haas GmbH. I am very delighted to invite you to GrindingHub. We'll present pamphlet machinery and production grinding. You will see rotors that we ship with high performance equipment on the machine, a multi-grind radical. We'll have a CA machine in addition and show a curve coupling element in complete machining, and our entire service range of digital solutions and our software application called Horizon. But I won't miss the opportunity to invite you to come to Trossingen and have a blind date in advance. You can get a good overview of all the trending topics on the 16th to the 19th of April. And I can directly see our machines grinding here on the mountain, and I'll hand over to Wolfgang Liebmann. He is in our production site in Trossingen, and he will show you tool grinding and present. So you'll see what we have to offer and all the news that we will present at GrindingHub. Until then, I look forward to meeting you there. I'll go back to skiing and you have fun working. Thank you, Heiko. Thank you, Mr. Zimmermann. My name is Wolfgang Liebmann, and I am working for tool machining at Adelbert Haas in Trossingen. I hope you can hear me. We'll talk to lots of manufacturers that try to find safe spacing solutions. They want a technology that's easy to operate and seamlessly integrates into production. And we have a solution, our multi-grind radical. So that's a grinding machine, tooling grinding machine that overcomes all those challenges and increases productivity and at the same time saves space. So together with our software multi-grind Horizon V and the process software Multimation, we will enable you to be more flexible, more fast, and more time and space saving. We have a technical assistant that we will present live at GrindingHub, and we focus not only on the machine, but also on the entire production process. So this year on the GrindingHub will show 4 machines. We produce, we're fast, we're precise, and we have a special clamping system and a smart technology which goes hand in hand with our palletizers. and it can produce up to 21 batches or layers. Less downtimes, more flexibility, a high batch accuracy with consistent quality. We'll show you how to grind everything. We'll look at production layers and all the other tools on one machine. We have a new clamping system, and you can actually manufacture entire pieces and components. But your own experience is always more convincing. So every opportunity always has a challenge, and vice versa. So that's why we invite you to take a look at our multi-grind. And my team and I will show you the machine and the automized processes for the future. And as Mr. Zimmermann has already mentioned, you don't want to wait until May. We'll invite you to come to Trossingen from April 16th to 19th to a blind date, grind date. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you very much for your presentation. Next is Jan Hammermann of Amiad Machining Fluid Filtration. You have the floor.
Vielen Dank. Hello and good morning from my side. My name is Jan Hammermann and I am responsible for the machine fluid filtration from Amiad. I would like to introduce our spindling disc filtration technology, summarizing key aspects, and last but not least, you will see a short movie. The disc filtration technology is applicable to all machining processes. The core element is a stack of polymer discs grooved on both sides. This creates the depth filtration element. During the filtration, the fluid is flowing from outside to inside through the stack, and when a certain differential pressure is reached, the automatic backwash is activated. A reverse flow of clean fluid is pushed through cleaning nozzles from inside to outside, and the piston of the stack opens and the discs are able to spin freely, and therefore the backflush time is just a question of seconds. The key aspects: depth filtration for all machining processes, 100% without single-use or disposable items, which reduces your CO2 footprint, automatic cleaning at a low differential pressure, which saves energy. And now you will see the movie. Yeah, many thanks. Vielen Dank. And see you on the EMO GrindingHub show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is Joachim Jeckel of Anca Europe, Germany, or Anca Europe, Australia, respectively.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? My name, as Mr. Beckmann mentioned, is Joachim Jeckel. I'm responsible for marketing at Anca in Europe, and I give you a few words on our GrindingHub setup. So Anca was founded in 1974. Now it's 2024. So on our 50th birthday, of course, you can expect something even more interesting than usual from us at GrindingHub. Let's have a quick look at past, present, and future at Anca. So here you see Pat Boland and Pat McCluskey, They were an engineer and a mechanic, met at a factory in Australia in 1974. They bought a mini computer, even though this doesn't look mini nowadays. They developed CNC together and then decided to also develop CNC grinding machines, and the rest is history. Look at the timeline of innovations that Anca brought out. The guys with their software background and driven by curiosity and ambition, they had ideas that quite objectively changed the tool grinding world. So in 1986, you see the touch probe, which changed the way you grind or regrind tools. 1998 is an example. Sim3D was the first real simulator for tool grinding, making trial and error oblivious, game changer. Then jumping to 2014, the own designed Anca tubular cylindrical linear motors. They open new levels of speed and precision. 2020, a major step was the AIM system, which really brought automated manufacturing to precision grinding. And then in 2022, the nanometer CNC and several algorithm, which really opened new categories of continuous high precision. Now, obviously, with this kind of innovation history, we have to make a big splash in 2024 to underline the 50 years. So what is it that we will bring to GrindingHub? A few examples, there's more, of course. First, you see our Micro X Ultra. It's a 6-axis tool grinding machine, which produces tools down to 0.05 millimeter diameter, backed by the Ultra technology to highest precision. And then second, on the bottom left, you see a picture from our entirely new machine concept for stream finishing, EPX, which is incorporating so much intelligence that edge preparation, surface finishing happen virtually autonomously. On the top right, you see a picture of a major upgrade to our popular Anca tool design software tool room, which will be released, increasing performance up to 20% with a bunch of new features. And then fourth, automation we make available for basically everyone with AIMS, starting from connectivity for installed system with an entirely new AIMS Connect to full system automation, which visitors can basically lay out together with our experts on the stand at GrindingHub. Now, our internal motto, and I'm sorry, Barbara, to be first there, but our internal motto at Anca for the 50 years is respect the past, create the future. And we all know that we can't create the future without the next generation of craftsmen and engineers. And that's why
Herr Jeckel, ich fürchte, ich muss Sie unterbrechen. Die 3 Minuten sind rum.
See us in hall 7A70. I'll be there, and we'll all be there. Thank you.
Your 3 minutes are over. I have to interrupt you. Thank you very much. Next is Inka Harand of CemeCon from Germany. You have the floor. Thank you so much. My name is Inka Harand. I'm from CemeCon. We are a company working on PVD coating and CVD diamond coating technology, especially for cutting tools on the GrindingHub. We will present the HiPIMS technology, which is relatively new, and we'll show our customers and visitors the great range of possibilities and markets that we can tap into with this new technology. So we have been around for a long time with cutting tools, and our products are tailor-made for cutting tools. And we know very well that only substrate geometry and coating that go hand in hand guarantee for an optimal cutting result. And HiPIMS offers you a broad range of new possibilities. And that's important because we think that cutting tool industry is undergoing a change. The markets will either dwindle or disappear, but we see new interesting markets. For example, heavy duty machining with the rail system, or also mold and die with hard and dry processing. We saw also medicine technology, electric vehicles, or dental industry and these substrates and materials. And of course, sustainability is also important for us. And we would like to show you how you can have super thin coatings and you can use the cutting tools. We also go into details about our procedures, but we would like to show you in detail when you come visit us because it goes a little too far here. So on the bottom right, you see a smooth surface with the Hypens sputter procedure. It's a very smooth, great surface for your tools. And we want to get you curious about all the opportunities that we have in order to improve characteristics and set characteristics and parameter. One example is called SteelCon. It's a coating, SteelCon coating. We can, for example, set wear and tear parameters, but also tightness or toughness or internal stress control that can be preset with this technology. And then, of course, last but not least, the layer thickness, which is very important. Whether I have a finishing, I need a thin layer. If I have a structured surface, I need a structured layer. And you can do all that with one machine with the HiPEMS technology. On GrindingHub in Hall 7, booth B66. Or if you want to, come visit our company, our plant in Würselen. Ms. Harand, your time is over. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much. Heiko Hartmann is going to present DMG Mori. You have the floor. Thank you, Mr. Beckmann. My name is Heiko Hartmann. I'm sales head responsible for DMG Mori precision grinding in Europe. Machining transformation is what we have present on the IMO. And on GrindingHub, MX will be our focus. We have the 6 pillars: process integration, automation, digital transformation, and the green transformation. And those are the foundation. Machining transformation is the key that we use with our customers for a future-oriented production. And this is our support. This is our overarching goal for the GrindingHub, but also for our customers. DMG Mori is a global leading company for precision grinding. Come discover at our booth 2 machines. 2 machines that go beyond the limits of efficiency and precision. Let's dive into. The first one is CVG6 from DMG Mori Precision Grinding. It redefines the standards for vertical grinding. It has a high-tech quality and a very attractive price. CVG offers a wide range of options for workpieces from 50 millimeters to 1 meter 30. And it has extremely stable grinding spindles and automatic tool changers, and therefore is fully automated with an unsurpassed precision. The second machine on GrindingHub is LaserTech 20 precision tool. It sets new standards in laser technology for diamond tool production. It's very flexible and extremely powerful, and thus enables precise machining of tools with the highest quality and the lowest costs per part manufacturers. On GrindingHub, you can experience more about LaserTech 20 tool precision, but you can see it live as well. It's fully automated PH10. And another highlight is the innovative processing of round chamfers with laser technology. And it shows our customers that the application possibilities of our technologies are very versatile. Come to Hall 7, booth 41, and discover the future of machine transformation precision. We look forward to welcoming you and presenting our vision for the future. Thank you so much.
Next on our list is Phil Jenkins from FIV Group France.
Hi, my name is Phil Jenkins, Commercial Director from FIV Grinding Ultra Precision. FIV is a €2 billion multinational enterprise with a diversified portfolio of industrial interests. Within FIV Grinding Ultra Precision group of companies, we have manufacturing facilities located in Europe, Asia, and North America. For over 120 years, FIV have been driving progress and innovation, offering a wide range of grinding technologies. With hundreds of patents, we continue to evolve and support the needs of industry and our customers, most recently through digitalization and sustainability. At GrindingHub 2024, we'll be demonstrating various new technological developments, including 2 machines, one of which is being publicly launched for the first time and contains many unique innovations. In the automotive industry, we're facing unprecedented uncertainty with manufacturing requirements for EV powertrain components. Investments need to go further to continue ICE production while simultaneously developing products and manufacturing capabilities for EVs. In response to these customer needs, FIV have developed the Landis 18 Amiga cylindrical grinding machine, higher output with lower energy consumption, industry-leading power to size ratio, all with a reduced floor space and manpower requirements, plus the lowest total cost of ownership and an affordable price point. Come and see us to learn how we've managed to achieve this. The second machine we'll be showcasing is our industry-leading solution for grinding brake discs. From 2030, hard-coated brake discs will be a critical element to comply with Euro 7 norms. This technology significantly reduces particulates, but also creates challenges in the manufacturing process. Working in collaboration with customer partners, FIV have successfully developed and launched the Justina VDD 760 to grind hard-coated brake discs. FIV will proudly present our range of Gardner abrasive grinding wheels and Sitco diamond and CBN cutting and dressing tools. Our abrasives and tooling solutions are custom engineered to our customers' unique specifications. Targeting the green energy sector, we developed the incredibly successful Justina XL VSD machine for large bearings. This machine has been specifically designed for the fast-growing wind turbine market, offering an advanced range of sizes to grind bearings from 1 up to 4 meters and beyond. From Cranfield Precision, we'll be providing an exclusive invite-only insight into a revolutionary new temperature control solution. Challenges in managing thermal effects in high-precision machining are the #1 cause of quality issues. The patented temperature control unit is a standalone device that can be added to any fluidic circuit to control and maintain temperature to 1,000th of a degree centigrade. Simple, ingenious, and reliable, this cost-effective, ultra-precise solution is now available to the whole machine tool industry. And finally, to facilitate FIV's leading role in the future of grinding technology, we provide an advanced digital solution. At GrindingHub, we'll be displaying our Cortex product range, a suite of hardware and software solutions tailored to specific needs, with the capability to connect seamlessly and agnostically to any control system to gather high-frequency CNC and PLC data. We invite you to visit us at the FIV booth in May. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Exactly 3 minutes. Next on our list is Ms. Barbara Hanapel from KSKomm. And she's going to introduce us to the Grinder of the Year competition. Hello, everyone. Very warm welcome. Good morning, everyone. Can everybody see my presentation? Yes. Great. What is the future of the grinding industry without skilled workers? How can we as PR agency not only raise awareness for this issue, but make an active contribution to finding a solution? My name is Barbara Hanapel, and I'm the owner of the PR agency KSKomm, who is focused on, or who specializes in the metal cutting industry and grinding industry. And I experienced firsthand how the situation got more and more difficult over the past years. Lack of skilled workers. This is a big challenge for me and my team, and it inspired us to develop an innovative solution to put the focus on this industry, and at the same time trying to fight the lack of skilled workers. This is how we came up with the Project Grinder of the Year, which is a young talents competition that will be presented for the first time, or will take place for the first time at this year's GrindingHub in Stuttgart. The competition aims at young talent in the grinding industry from the DACH region. So workers of all different levels were able to apply for the competition until the end of February. And we are currently in the process of having a look at the projects that were handed in, and the 5 best applicants will receive a 5 days training at our main sponsor in Weinheim on the grinding machine FX7 Ultra. At the Grinding Hub, we will meet in Hall 7 at stand A90 at the Anca main sponsor's stand, the final round on the 15th and 16th of May. Precision tools will be programmed in front of the eyes of the visitors, and then we will also use the competition machine FX Grinding Ultra to grind workpieces live. The award or the title that you can win is the Grinder of the Year title, plus a voucher of 7,000 euros, and also many other great events will follow. We use various channels for media, social media, and also expert journals to make sure that the industry and the competitors receive the recognition they deserve. Our target is not only to raise awareness in the industry, but we also want to highlight the potential of the next generation of skilled workers. I'm looking forward to your support, and I'm happy about the support that we received, and I would also like to thank the sponsors and all the suppliers in the industry that helped to make this project possible. The co-sponsors are CemeCon AG, Command Filtration Technologies, PTS, Precision Chipping GmbH, IT Hard Metal Tools, Grinding Technology, Mitsubishi Electrics, and the Oilhead GmbH. So we are going to see the final pretty soon, and we are looking forward to see many of you in Hall 7 stand A90 following the competition live at the Grinding Hub in Stuttgart. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Ms. Hannibal. Next is Maximilian Groh from Meister Abrasives and Alfons Schmeier GmbH. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. And Ms. Hannibal, please stop sharing your screen. Or Mr. Groh, if you have a presentation, you can share your screen. Okay, it worked. Looks good. Good morning, everyone. My name is Maximilian Groh. I'm a CSO at Meister Abrasives and our sister company, Alfons Schmeier GmbH and Co. KG. And I'm looking forward to introducing our two companies to you. Why do we have two companies here? Meister and Schmeier were competitors before, and then they joined forces in 2017. And now they are all under one roof, and they belong to the same company group. And we also present our two companies together at the Grinding Hub. Meister and Schmeier have a company, look like a company history of over 70 years, and they are leading in the development and manufacturing of customized cutting-edge conventional and abrasive tools for high-precision grinding applications. Our slogan is "We grind the future," and our priority is innovation. So we have a strong focus on our customers. So we don't sell catalog products, but it is incremental for us. It is so important for us to find an individual solution for our customers to develop them together with them. Each machine has individual properties, and this is why we have followed this approach for numerous decades now. So we are a very innovative company, and this becomes clear if you see that more than 50% of our turnover is generated with products developed in the last 5 years. What are our fields of application? Automotive industry, e-mobility, surface treatments, medical industry, semiconductors, and also bearings. We develop a huge variety of grinding solutions for these industries, for internal grinding, super abrasive, internal grinding, conventional grinding, super finishing and honing, and external grinding as well. And we are a technological company, and our core competence is on the development of new grain and bonding technology. So this is a brief overview of one of our developments with different properties in the grinding process. And we are going to introduce or tell you more about that at our booth at the Grinding Hub. If you are interested in learning more about it. The Grinding Hub, we will also present 3 new developments and 3 innovations. And we will have input presentations on Tuesday and Wednesday. And our experts are available to answer your questions if you visit our booth in hall number 9. We are going to introduce our ultrafine technology which is substitution of lapping process and double disc fine grinding. We also will show innovations in the field of the grinding of hip prostheses, and we will present a 410A sulfur-free tool for excellent performance and to improve the longevity of machines, which is sulfur-free honing. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to meeting you at our booth in Hall 9 in May. Thank you very much for this brief overview. Next on our list is Hans-Jürgen Pelzers from Mitsubishi Electric Europe. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to give a brief presentation here today. Can you see my presentation? No, not yet. Here it is. Mitsubishi Electric, a big company that I don't have to introduce right now. I have to introduce myself. Hans-Jürgen Pelzers, sales representative at Mitsubishi Electric, and we are responsible for Europe and Africa. And at the GrindingHub, we are rather exotic because we are going to present our EDM dress technology. This is about dressing of PCD and CBN grinding wheels by wire erosion in an industrial process. So the big question is about cost reduction, enhanced competitiveness, and the lack of skilled workers. Those are the challenges that we want to address with our solutions. We heard it before. What is it about? It is about super abrasive grinding wheels. They are used in different applications today. We heard a lot about tool grinding today, and there is an ideal bonding, and this is metal bonding, metal bond, with all its advantages in the metal grinding process has a huge disadvantage. It is very difficult to dress. EDM dress is our technology that can be used for that, for functional dressing of grinding wheels. If we now take a look at those two charts, those two drawings, you see that we want to have a grinding wheel that is very strong in different areas. So for the metal bond has a huge disadvantage. The grinding wheels are very hard to dress. This changes completely with EDM dress, and the grinding wheel can be dressed easily with metal bond, and all the advantages can be used in the grinding process afterwards. What happens with EDM dress? Also compared to conventional dressing of super abrasive grinding wheels. We take a look at the mechanical process. It is a very brutal one. Grain on grain, or diamond on diamond, or diamond on CBM. So this is a process that destroys everything with mechanical force. Also, the grains are processed and are actually cannot be used anymore. So what do we do with EDM dress? We leave the cutting grain at the disc in its initial form, and we just work on the metal bond behind the cutting grain. So here you see the three cutting grains on the left side. What happens during the grinding process? The perfect grinding tool, the perfect grinding wheel has open pores and is highly productive. Mr. Pelzer, unfortunately, you have already exceeded your 3 minutes. Okay, so please visit us at the GrindingHub to get more information on that. We show you how that works. Thank you. Next is Matthias Schneidmann.
Warm welcome from my side. I'm Matthias Schneidmann, Head of Product Management at Pureon. We are a Swiss company owned in the third generation of a family, the family Spring. We with surface finishing solutions, we make a revenue of $50 million with 150 people, around 150 people and more than 1,000 satisfied customers. We are a global enterprise with subsidiaries in Switzerland, Germany, the US, China, and Japan to serve different industries and regions. What we do. We are a provider of surface finishing solutions for high-tech materials for applications like cutting, grinding, lapping, polishing, and chemical mechanical polishing. Our product range is tailored for these applications. We are one of the world leaders in manufacturing of industrial diamonds, and we sell these diamonds. And our products, a huge part of our product families is based on diamonds like wire sawing and lapping and polishing slurries, as well as diamond grinding pads or diamond compounds. But we have also a huge portfolio of high quality polishing pads. With our products, we serve high demanding industries like advanced optics, semiconductor and electronics, precision industry, luxury goods industry, medtech industry, and tools and coating industry. At the GrindingHub, I'm excited to introduce our next generation of diamond grinding pads, the Squadro 2. It has 50% more lifetime, an improved flexibility with respect to the size. Grinding is cleaner compared to lapping. Our product is eco-friendly. It is suited for a huge variety of materials. And if you want to learn more about Squadro 2 or our other innovative solutions, then I'm happy to meet you at the GrindingHub. Or if you want, you can also contact me or us directly. Thank you.
Herzlichen Dank. Wir begrüßen als nächstes Herrn Udo Denzel von STA Separatoren-Technik und Anlagenbau aus Deutschland.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to present STA today. We are a family-run business, and for over 30 years we have been building centrifuges or centrifugal separators, as we call them. They are used for cleaning industrial fluids, such as grinding oil or grinding coolant, separating particles down to 3 micrometers by centrifugal acceleration. This is an alternative to any kind of filtration, so they are used especially for materials which are a challenge to be filtered, mostly hard and porous material like glass, ceramics, or high-speed steel in tool grinding. Centrifuges have lots of advantages. There is no need for consumables. They can take up a lot of sludge compared to cartridge or candle filters, and thanks to the high centrifugal acceleration, the sludge from a centrifuge comes off nice and dry at a minimum disposal cost. Engineering and design is our main focus. We develop systems for both grinding machine builders and also for end users. For end users, we tailor custom central systems for complete grinding shops, sometimes using our self-cleaning centrifugal separators. On this year's GrindingHub show, we will show our flagship, the self-priming model S15. You can already see it on my background screen, and now I'll try and share my presentation. Hope you can see it. This is the system we are planning to have on the booth.
Noch können wir nichts sehen.
Better
Jetzt.
now? Yeah. Thank you. This is the system we are planning to have on the booth. You can see a full grinding oil cleaning system, including a chiller, process pumps, the black part here in the back, and the centrifuge is the part on the left-hand side. This is our self-priming centrifuge S15. Now, what does self-priming mean? It's a special design. The motor that drives the whole rotor system sits on top, but the fluid entry is from the bottom. Now, why is that different? A classical centrifuge design, you can see this on the right-hand side here. We also have a classical model, the U15, which is designed in the standard way. The fluid comes from top and the motor sits on the bottom. Now, the self-priming model has a huge advantage when you use it directly on a grinding machine. On the right-hand side, again, the classical version showing the centrifuge on the right-hand side, it always needs a lifting tank and a lifting pump because usually the drain from a grinding machine is quite low. So you can actually feed with this pump the centrifuge, which then cleans the fluid and it returns it into the clean oil tank. Whereas on the self-priming model, this is not needed. As you can see on the left-hand side here, the drain from the grinding machine can simply enter the centrifuge directly, and you can save lots of components by realizing it this way. And also
Herr
a
Denzel,
big advantage.
ich fürchte, die Zeit ist um.
Come and
Und
see
das
us on the
Thema
show.
müssten
Your
wir dann auf
time
der
Thank
is
you.
GrindingHub
out.
vertiefen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Spanflug Technologies, Markus Westermeier.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. I'm co-founder and CEO of the Munich-based technology company Spanflug, and I have no slides, just a few words for you. So at Spanflug, our mission is to make the purchasing and manufacturing of turning, milling, and grinding parts as fast and efficient as possible for both customers as well as manufacturers. To achieve this, we offer a quoting solution for CNC machining companies called Spanflug Make. This software as a service product makes quoting faster and easier than ever through its digital and automated processes from prototypes to serious production. With Spanflug Make, machine shops calculate prices based on CAD models and optionally on technical drawings. All data relevant for manufacturing and calculation is automatically extracted. Our intelligent algorithm, which has been tested on hundreds of thousands of parts and is subject to continuous AI and data-driven improvements, understands each part and the steps required to machine it, including grinding. From there, we can give users a quote proposal with a detailed breakdown of manufacturing times and costs, and this all within seconds. So we cut down coding efforts by 90% and enable machine shops to answer to customer requests for quotes within minutes instead of days. We want our users to benefit from our solutions from day one, so we made it really easy to get started with Spanflug Make. Our software works out of the box, comes with real-time prices for stock materials, and can be customized for the individual machine shop in just a few simple steps. But there is even more. Spanflug Make provides ready-to-send quote PDFs at the push of a button. It suggests suitable stock materials and assists with the selection of the most efficient cutting tools and machine tools. So to sum it up, Spanflug Make is the market-leading software tool to make quoting effortless, so machine shops can focus on what they do best, machining. I'm really looking forward to chat with you in the breakout sessions and to meet you at our stand D50 in Hall 7 within the Startup Hub. Thank you very much.
Next is Mr. Alexander Broos, Connectivity Initiative umati. Thank you very much for your introduction. Umati, you might have heard that before. And just to refresh your memory, I'll start with a small thesis. Some like to say data is the new gold, data is the new oil. However, if you look at it, you find many people saying, it's all nice, digitization is great, but I have not earned any money with it. Let me spoil you a little bit. There are sectors that make a lot of money with digitization and data. You know, look at United States, for example, but now you ask yourself, why is that so hard in our sector, in machining and tooling and producing? Why is it hard to turn data into dollars? The first question that you have to see is, in order to turn data into dollars, you need tools. So that's the first question. And the second question is, if I turned data into dollars, what do I do with it? Do I sit on it? look at Hobbit, you know, and the dragon that's sitting on the gold and is not even interested in sharing it and doing it because it worries that people might take advantage of it. The future might look a little different, but let's get started at the beginning. We need tools, and tools means data needs to be accessible. Data needs to be in a standardized format, and data needs to have open interfaces. And then we're right at the core. You have to standardize it. That's open, that's non-biased, that's neutral. We're not certain players dominate the ecosystem. We don't have Google, Apple, or Amazon in our sector. And it should be open and transferable so everyone could use it. And an established tool is UPC-OA as a standardized connectivity infrastructure tool. But this is not enough. We have a very detailed, diversified sector. That's important. Think about GrindingHub. It's about dividing the tiniest mu. That's the niche in the niche in the niche. So you need experts and process technology. But at the end of the day, you say, okay, I need another software application for engineering, but you need to make it more accessible. And you can only do that together. We're only strong together. And Umati is an initiative helping to help yourself open data research in order to build data models. And therefore, it is a mediator between the producers on the one hand and the users on the other hand. And on GrindingHub, we'll present a few more specifics for grinding technology. And this is the end of my presentation. I look forward to welcoming you in Stuttgart, booth D21 in Hall 9. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Broos. Next is United Grinding, Mr. Christoph Erler. You have the floor. Hello, welcome everyone. I am almost the last speaker. My name is Christoph Erler. I'm the marketing head of Walter Maschinenbau, and I represent United Grinding Group. 840 square meters on the GrindingHub, presenting the newest technologies for cutting, lasing, grinding, eroding, and additive manufacturing on 12 machines. Stay connected, as you can see in the background. That's our GrindingHub motto, Hall 9C51 booth. And we already look forward to meeting you, talking to you when you come to our booth. However, this motto also means that we strongly focus on solutions for connectivity. Alongside digital assistant tools, the digital solution tools, you can look at digital customer care solutions that we offer. Or, as you already heard by Mr. Broos, how machines transfer data and how you can use Umati to connect and interface production. We also have the great advantage that at 10 on the first day, Walter will present a great news. So we invite you to come and witness this product innovation. It's a reveal party of a product innovation, but also we'll continue our presentations when you come to our booth and explain the reveal. So we have Walter machines for tool machining, but we'll also show Studer machines for round grinding and Blom machines for level grinding. We'll also show EWAG additive tooling for industrial 3D printing of metal parts. So visitors can come to customer care and talk to our experts and ask questions and learn to operate the machines intuitively with our core machine panels. And you can win a PlayStation PS5. We look forward to the fair. We look forward to what's new, and we're very excited without the pandemic. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for being interested, and thank you for coming to see us. Thank you very much. last but not least is Ms. Juncker Bruno Brandt. Now it works. You have the floor. Can you hear me now? It sounds a lot better. Thank you, Mr. Beckmann. Thank press visitors. My name is Bruno Brandt. I'm the head of product management of RWTH Juncker. We develop and sell grinding machines, and we're the leading technology. And we have also industrialized solutions. We offer automation, application software, and digitization and solutions for all of our machine tools. For GrindingHub 2024, we have something very special in mind. The world premiere of our Platform 3 grinding machine. It combines lots of different types, lots of rotation devices and machining parts from e-mobility, aviation, medical technology, and lots of other areas. That's a new development and increases flexibility and efficiency with this machine class. We optimized a component-based system. It's a uniform base for various applications and products and types, and therefore we are able to decrease the run times, which is a great advantage for our customers. Of course, it cuts down on delivery times and makes availability ever easier. We're highly flexible for those high efficiency grinding machines. The product range of our customers become ever more tailor-made and the batch sizes become ever more smaller. That's why we have to be very versatile and at the same time stay productive and effective. And we've done that with Platform 3. So for the first time that Juncker has set up a platform, we're renowned, but now we have an additional components for small batches and smaller series up to bigger batches, all on the same machine base. So it's a Platform 3. We want to give you investment safety and security for modular build-ups, tailor-made for the production. You can change the configuration easily for smaller batches, and that optimizes utilization of the machine, and the investment cost will come in quickly. I hope you're curious now for Platform 3. We invite you to witness our world premiere in Hall 10, Booth 50. Thank you so much. See you at GrindingHub. Thank you, Mr. Brandt, for rounding that off. Thank you for all those interesting presentations. That marks the end of our elevator pitches, but not the end of our event. So first of all, thank you to all the presenters and speakers for the comprehensive insight into what we can expect at the trade fair. I would now like to invite you for the speed dating to deepen your impressions and information. All participants will be sent to breakout rooms and the media representatives will remain in their rooms, and the exhibitors change the room every 3 minutes. This way, everyone has the opportunity to talk to each other. The entire process will take about 50 minutes, and we kindly ask you to stay in the respective breakout rooms until the end. And at the very end, we'll meet again here for an official farewell. So now we'll start the breakout sessions, and I look forward to welcoming you again. Have a great time.
So welcome back. I hope you had plenty of opportunity to make new contacts or refresh existing ones in the speed dating. As already mentioned, you will receive all the contact data of all participants after the event. We will also make the recording of the event available to you online together with the press kit. Let me make a few final remarks. I'm pretty sure you know that the GrindingHub is represented on social media channels, various social media channels. Here you can follow us and share your posts with the GrindingHub community using the hashtag GrindingHub. Use this opportunity to generate more reach together and always stay up to date. On our website, www.grindinghub.de, you will also find relevant information about the trade fair, specialist articles on current trends in grinding technology, and also press releases from our exhibitors. We will also publish the highlights presented today here. And of course, we would also like to invite you to the trade show already today. Please note the date for the opening press conference on May the 14th at 11 o'clock at the Grinding Solution Forum in Hall 10E80. Here you'll find out more about the Grinding Hub from the perspective of the organizers, visitors, and politicians. Roland Bleinroth from the Messe Stuttgart, Dr. Markus Hering from VDW, Björn Köbler and Armin Ranzenberger from Köbler CNC GmbH, suppliers to the aircraft industry and visitors to the Grinding Hub, and State Secretary Dr. Patrick Rapp from the Baden-Württemberg Ministry of Economic Affairs, Labor and Tourism will be present there. Thank you very much for participating. I hope you have a great day, and I'm looking forward to meeting you at the Grinding Hub in Stuttgart pretty soon.